everyone, welcome to today's YouTube. This is really exciting, YouTube/podcast of course, because hashtag repurpose that content. Today's podcast I'm really excited about because it is the first one I'm doing that's not an interview since we announced that we are having another baby. So I'm currently 17 weeks pregnant, which I'll share some photos with you guys. My bump is definitely popping. Baby number 3, my stomach muscles just fucking quit and left the building. So I look very pregnant already. But yeah, I wanted to just share with you guys a little bit more about that and how the last 17 weeks have been, and how kind of coming to terms with having another baby, which was not part of our plan at all. So today I'm just going to share a little bit about that with you guys, and I think it's just like I want to share that because it's been difficult. We wanted to keep it just to ourselves for a little bit, just enjoy it and kind of get used to the idea of having another baby, my husband and I. So we wanted to keep it kind of personal, but then it got very obvious that I was pregnant, so it was time to tell everyone. But yeah, I just wanted to let you in on what's been happening the last 17 weeks, and there's obviously been some changes in the business and in the branding and stuff like that as I transition to this new part of life. Next year was meant to be the part of life where I go like so hard into business because both my kids were going to be at school and I would have 5 full days a week. And now next year I'm going to have a newborn. So it's going to change the game a little bit. So I'm currently 17 weeks. I'm due on December 30th. My kids previously came at 39 weeks. So I'm really hoping for the week before, just before Christmas. Obviously, as you can tell, December 30th, this is not a planned baby. This was a complete accident and shock to literally everyone. Very, very much a big shock to me and my husband. And I'll explain why it's such a huge shock in a minute. But yeah, so December 30th we're due. I'm hoping a little bit early like the other two. Just before Christmas would suit great for us. I know I don't really get a say because baby makes up his own mind. And we are having a boy, which is really exciting. We found out early. We normally, with the other two, we waited till 20 weeks to find out what we were having. This time we did go and find out early, which was really exciting. We haven't done that before. Previously with our other 2 kids, we kind of didn't have the extra funds to go down and do one of the early scans, and they used to cost a lot more. Like when our son Eric, who's 7 now, when I was pregnant with him, having one of the early gender scans done at 15 weeks cost you about $400 or $500. And I think this time we paid $70. So it's definitely quite different to being pregnant the first or second time. I haven't been pregnant for like 5 years. My daughter just turned 5 the other week. So it's very different. Like so much has changed. And I think for me, I've really noticed how like financially things have changed, how much cheaper baby products are to get as well. Like this pregnancy, so different. But anyway, I want to share with you guys why we were so shocked to find out we were expecting again. And that is because if you've been following my journey on social media and stuff for a little while, you would know that I have PCOS. I got diagnosed in January this year after spending 12 months trying to get the diagnosis. It was very, very, very complicated. I've been in a lot of pain for years. I stopped having periods for a period of about 18 months. And then at the start of this year, went on some medication. You know, my cycles were starting to come back, but they weren't super regular. They were just popping up every now and again for a day or two, which was better than not having them at all, but it still wasn't enough that I realized when I was pregnant that I was pregnant. I just thought, oh, my periods just disappeared again, like it has for the last 18 months. Because I haven't been having periods, I don't ovulate naturally, which is what the gynecologist and all my specialists, I've basically spent the last 12 months in and out of specialist appointments, hospitals, gynecologists, nutritionists, dietitians, sports physiologists, therapists, everything, trying to figure out what the hell was going on with my body. There was some pretty messed up stuff happening, a lot of pain, like unexplained weight gain, 30, 40 kilos of weight gain, like all this stuff was happening. Eventually I got a PCOS diagnosis, started on medication, and my whole body started to feel better. But my specialist in December told me, you'll never be able to get pregnant naturally again. Do you want to have any more kids? because that will affect what type of medication we put you on. And my husband and I had already discussed it, and we're like, no, we're good. We're so good with our 2 kids. We're so happy. My son Eric also has a disability, so that takes up a lot of mental and emotional and physical time. And we were kind of like, no, we're at a good place. We're at a good place. We don't need any more kids. Like, we don't have an extra room in our house. We're so fine with just having 2 kids. Doctor said, that's okay. You won't be able to get pregnant naturally. If you do change your mind, you have to come back and, go through some fertility treatments, or have to have this injection to like force your body to ovulate. Cause like, don't have periods, don't ovulate. So yeah, it was like, okay, that's cool. No more kids for us. We hadn't been using any form of protection for like years, because obviously I wasn't ovulating, wasn't getting pregnant, nothing was happening. So not a lot changed for us. It was honestly like kind of like relief. I'm like, okay, that's okay. The decision's made for us. Like, no more babies. We're so fine with that. Ugh, I'm so uncomfortable already, and I'm 17 weeks. And then some weird stuff started happening. So I'd had like 1 period this year maybe, but not enough that when I wasn't having periods, my brain instantly went to, oh, you're pregnant, Shona. So I hadn't had periods for a couple of months, but that wasn't anything new for me. Like, I got 4 periods in a space of 12 months previously. So it wasn't like a red flag at all. But my husband started to pick up on things, and he's like, you're saying your boobs are really sore. And I'm just like, oh, it's just because they changed my medication. Like, it's all hormone medication. They're just sore from that. And he's like, yeah, right, Shona. You're probably pregnant. I'm like, don't be stupid. You know I can't get pregnant. And I don't think I really didn't know at all. I think he knew a little bit something was happening, but I was just in full like, that can't happen. Don't be stupid. Like, it can't happen. It didn't even cross my mind. And then I started like craving food. And I just went, this is just what I feel like right now. Like, going through eating disorder treatment, actually starting to get some hunger cues again, was, I really thought the cravings were just kind of like me adjusting to like eating regularly again and going, oh, I'm not severely restricting my calories. I can try a few different things. So at one point I was like really craving orange juice. And I think he was buying me like 2 liters of orange juice a day. And he's like, what is going on? You hate orange juice. And I do. I hate orange juice. I have that many memories of vomiting orange juice from my childhood. It's just not something I like to drink ever. And he's like, why do you suddenly want all this orange juice? And I'm like, I just do. I just feel like it. Sushi was another thing I was really craving, which is not ideal when you're pregnant, but I didn't know at this point. So I was eating a lot of sushi. And just, yeah, weird stuff. And like curries. We're not a huge curry family normally. And he's like, why are you cooking? Like, we had curry 3 times last week. And I'm like, I just want it. Like, shut up. If you don't like it, you cook dinner. And I was starting to feel like just a little bit yuck. Just a little bit, just like, ugh. And I think my grandpa passed away, and I was feeling really sick around the time of his funeral, but I just thought, that's how grief is manifesting in nausea for me. We had Mother's Day. Keep in mind as well, I was probably drinking still quite a bit. You guys know I love wine. I love coffee. I love wine. I love gin. I love whiskey. I'm a drinker. We're still drinking quite a lot socially. So Mother's Day got quite tipsy with the rest of my family, which was so good. It was such a lovely day. My grandma got a little bit piddly. She was hilarious. And I felt kind of like sick. I didn't eat much that day. And Aaron's like, what is going on with you? Are you sure you're not pregnant? And I'm like, I cannot get pregnant, Aaron. There's no point even talking about it because it can't happen. My body won't let it happen. And then I was actually I should let you know, I was actually booked in for a small surgery to go in and take all these cysts off my uterus and really scrape out all the endometriosis and do all this stuff. And there was a paperwork that I had to sign saying if we get in there and it's as bad as we think it is, we're going to take everything. We're going to do a hysterectomy. And I was totally cool with that. So in August of this year, I was meant to be going in for this appointment, which was potentially going to end up in a hysterectomy, right? And then a couple of weeks later, I had to call my doctor like a dickhead and be like, so, that thing you said you couldn't happen? It did happen, and I don't need the hysterectomy now. We'll deal with that post baby. But anyway, the next day after Mother's Day, I was in doing the food shopping with my daughter on a Monday, and I'd only been able to keep down a couple of glasses of orange juice in the morning. I thought, maybe it's the changes in my medication. I was on metformin, which I only found out later is a fucking fertility drug that they use in IVF clinics. My sister, who's a midwife, told me, she's like, Shona, of course your body decided to start working again. You're on this particular drug, which they use for IVF clients. I was like, oh my God, why don't doctors tell you these things? We would have been a little bit more careful. I'm shopping in Aldi. I get to the checkout. I'm loading up all the food. I can barely look at the meat. I'm just feeling so disgusting. And then I power chucked orange juice all over like the food packing counter and then down into one of the little bins they have. And I just I bought paper towels, so I was just trying to clean it up, and I let them know, and I bagged up my little bag of sick and took it out the back. But I just felt that was the moment where I'm like, what if my husband's right? What if I am pregnant? And I was like shaking, obviously from being sick as well. It takes a lot for me to throw up. I'm not someone who throws up easily, ever. Like, I've had an eating disorder before, anorexia. I've tried to be bulimic. I cannot even make myself throw up. So the fact that I was sick everywhere was that was the red flag for me, because I don't throw up easily. Power chucked orange juice all through Aldi, which was disgusting, like when it comes out your nose and it feels like it's coming out your eyeballs as well. And Aldi's right next to a chemist. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to get the test and try it. Went to the chemist, got a pregnancy test, took it home. Before I even unpacked the food shopping, I took the test, and sure enough, 2 bright pink lines. And my entire world changed right then. I started to panic because this was not part of the plan at all. Like, obviously, for a second, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. My friends have just had babies. They're so cute. This is going to be wonderful. And then I was like, fucking hell, this is not part of the plan at all. This is going from having a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old who are super independent, who know how to get themselves dressed, make their bed, do chores, make their own breakfast. They can make their own dinner if they need to. They're very good at like 2-minute noodles and heating up leftovers. And like, I have these super independent kids, and we were moving into that next phase of life. And now I'm going like right back to the beginning. So I had so many thoughts going in my head. I was absolutely terrified. And like, as well, like, it's been 5 years. It's been so long since I've done this. I'm just like, no, what am I going to do? I messaged one of my girlfriends, and I'm just like, are you in my town? Can we meet for coffee? I'm kind of freaking the fuck out. Didn't tell Aaron, because the last 2 kids I had told him via text message. I was 19 when I got pregnant with my son, Eric. I did a test at work, and I had to just message him straight away and be like, guess what? You're going to be a dad. And he was so excited. At 19, it was easy. It was so exciting. And then at 22, when I got pregnant with my daughter, same thing. I sent him a text message because we'd been trying then, and it was like, yay, guess what? We finally got the 2 little lines. I'm pregnant. This time it just felt different, and it has been completely different to the other 2 pregnancies. This time it just felt like so much more of a big thing. It felt so much bigger because, we weren't in that phase of life where we're like having babies and doing that. We're doing completely different stuff now. So I spoke to my friend, like had my freak out, to my beautiful friend Amber. Thank you so much for meeting me that day. I know you were in the middle of a meeting, but you saved my life. She talked me down off this like crazy emotional ledge, and she was so excited and so happy for me. It helped me feel a little bit more excited. And so I was panicking about how to tell my husband. I'm like, do I just tell him and be really super logical about it and like go through all this together, or do I actually use this time to do something really cute and like announce to him he's going to be a dad again but I didn't know how he was going to feel about it, because we were both really excited about this next phase of life, and we were both really happy with the decision not to have any more kids. So I wasn't sure, even though I was in shock and feeling excited, how he would react. And so I didn't want to do like a big, hey, guess what, you're going to be a dad again, if he's like, oh fuck, no way. And I told him later, I had this nightmare that you were just going to like pack your bags. and leave because she didn't want to have another baby. And he's like, no, as if you would think that. So it was all panic for nothing, completely in my own head. So we're sitting at dinner that night. I'm like freaking out. How am I going to tell him? Am I going to tell him later when the kids are in bed, or am I going to tell him as soon as he walks in the door? Like, I just didn't know. We're sitting there having curry for dinner because this pregnant lady really loved her curry in the early days. Now I'm not so interested. But sitting there having curry, and he just looks up at me, and it's like he could tell something was going on because he just gave me this stupid, adorable smile. You know, the type that they do where you just fall in love with them all over again. He did one of them, and I just mouthed to him, I'm like, I'm pregnant. And he went, what? Fuck. So, but then he was smiling like an idiot for the rest of dinner. So even though he's like, what the fuck? What? Like, shit, fuck, oh my God. At the same point, he was smiling like a total lunatic. So I knew that it was going to be okay. Once the kids went to bed, we had to talk about it. Both had a big cry. Kind of let all the emotions out. Like, oh my God, like, here we go again. I wonder how far along I am. Yes, Holly? You can come in, baby.
You know, I don't want this one because it's just like the base, it's like taking over the...
I can come and change it shortly, okay? If you turn it off, here, have this for a minute. Just for a minute, but you turn off the TV, okay? Go on. This is Holly. Holly, you want to say hi? Not today?
And this one did Care Bears.
I can't get Care Bears right now. And I can't pause this video, so... You take that or don't bother. What was I talking about? Yes, big cry, big emotions. It took us about 4 days, I think, to kind of get over the shock. So by about Friday, we had friends over for... I was feeling so rotten, by the way. It's like the minute I realised that I was actually feeling morning sick instead of just the medication or just feeling a bit off colour, it like full swing... Sick, gross, disgusting, awful. Don't bounce the bed. Once I realised... Don't bounce the bed, please. What?
I don't want your... How long will it take?
About 10 more minutes. 5 minutes.
3, that's not for me.
3. Alright, I'll see. Go. Shut the door. See what I mean? We're in that stage of life. And now I'm going back to a baby. At least the baby comes back talk. Anyway. It took about 4 days for us to kind of calm down and stop freaking out about it. Booked all the appointments with the doctors. And yeah, we had dinner, friends over for dinner Friday night. Obviously, we weren't telling anyone at that point. And my leg's so sore. We had friends over and we had like a bonfire at the back, and when they left, like, Aaron came and gave me a big hug and we kind of just like talked about it, and he started talking about names, and I was like, okay, alright, this is happening now, and he's excited about it, and we're both still, you know, excited, but still at that like, oh fuck, like, what are we gonna do, how are we gonna like, and we don't even have space for another kid in our life, and we're gonna have to make space, but you know, it's just not the super exciting, like, yay, we're gonna have a baby. Like, every emotion which has been exciting and been like, yay, I can't wait, has also been coupled with like an oh shit. How do we make this work type of thinking and feeling. So it's been so different this time. We started talking about names, and that's kind of when I knew everything was going to be okay. So we got our names picked out, went to the first scan, saw baby, and then a few other things happened along the way. So this has been a much more complicated pregnancy than I ever imagined I could have, and certainly so different to my previous 2 pregnancies. And I reckon I will make a separate video where I talk about kind of that part of this journey for you guys, because it's a little bit in depth. I don't want to bore you too much in this one. So yeah, we found out we were pregnant. We had our baby scan. We went and saw this wriggly little bean thing with a heartbeat, and it was like, oh, this is real. There it is. I was 9 weeks when we found out, so we weren't sure because I don't have periods. It's really hard. So the doctors were like, you could be 7 weeks, you could be 14 weeks. We don't know how far along you are. So, yeah, we had the first dating scan and found out we were 9 weeks, which, yeah, was like, according to a period, would have been 14 weeks. So it's only 9 weeks. But that was good. Like, it gave us time. We told our parents, we told family, I told a couple of my close friends because it was getting really difficult to hide, you know, catch up for coffee and I might be right back. Just got to throw up on the side of the road here. Or I go to school run and then drop Eric at school and then the wave of nausea would hit me and I'd be throwing up in the school car park. It's not been easy to hide this time, despite, you know, even the huge belly already. It's been, yeah, really difficult to hide, even the sickness side of things. And then we found out we're having a little boy. We celebrated on Holly's birthday. Everyone was already together for her birthday. We just found out what we're having. So we did like a gender reveal down at our local park with just the party poppers and they all came out blue. So we're having a little boy. We'll have a 7-year-old boy, sorry, when baby's born. Yuck. No, it was sick in my mouth a bit. That's the other thing is different from the other 2 pregnancies. This morning sickness has lasted a lot longer. The other 2, the sickness ended at 13 weeks on the dot. I'm still 17 weeks and still feeling a little bit just yuck most of the time. So we're going to have an 8-year-old boy, 5.5-year-old little girl, and a newborn at the start of 2020. And that's how my life has been totally thrown in a spin. It's completely changed how we thought. You know, we're big on planning. We've always got a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 15-year plan, and then finding out we're pregnant has just gone like poof, to the majority of that, because it definitely changes our plan. But yeah, we're also really, really excited. The kids are so happy. They're so excited, which I think has made it easier for me in those early days when I was just in this shock place. Seeing the kids so excited has really helped make it easier and helped me get excited about it. And when I found out they were having a little brother, so excited, especially Holly with she was like, I don't have to share my bedroom which was quite funny. I might even, if I get a chance, I'll put up like a little snapshot of all like the gender reveal little videos that we got together and photos and stuff, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys how I found out I was pregnant, why I was so shocked I was pregnant, and yeah, kind of how those first early couple of weeks have gone for us. And yes, we are having a little boy, and yeah, I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. I'll do another little video about the medical complications I've been having, because I'd like to share more about that. I feel like that's the first thing I did when I got diagnosed with some of this stuff and I started, you know, having these moments. You know, there was at one point I had a big bleed and we thought we lost the baby, and the first place I turned to was I started looking online for support, and other people were going through the same things. So I definitely want to be able to share this journey as much as possible. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video or this podcast if you're listening to that, and like and subscribe, and don't forget to share and leave a comment for me where your pregnancies really similar or are they completely different, because at the moment I feel like this little thing inside me is so alien and I love it so much already, but at the same point so alien. Anyway, have a great day, guys.